All right, so in a mathematical expression, what is a variable? So as you guys know, variable are the letters. Okay? It's basically a letter to represent a number, but before we solve it, we don't know what is that number. So in this example right here, negative 3x minus 2, what is my coefficient here? In negative 3x minus 2, what's my coefficient? Alvin? Negative 3. Good. Okay, so my coefficient is the number, which is negative 3. And then my constant? My constant, Farhan? Negative 2, the number itself. Okay, so there's a big difference between coefficient and constant. People do mix them up all the time because they both start with C. Right? So coefficient is the number in front of the variable, and constant is the number by itself. And your constant right here is negative 2 because minus 2, so your constant is negative 2. Okay. State the number of terms and degree of each. So remember, degree only applies to variables. Okay, and we're talking about the exponent of that term. Okay, so number of terms, 5x. 5x is one term, and the degree is 1 because the exponent on the x is 1. Okay, what about t plus 8? How many terms do you see here? Angelina? 2. Yeah, 2 terms. Okay, terms are separated by plus or minus sign. So here, t is one term, 8 is the other term. So you have 2 terms. What's the degree of this polynomial? Yeah, 1. Yeah, because the exponent on the t is just 1. So this is degree 1. Okay. This one, again, I see 1 minus sign. So that means there's 2 terms. Okay. 3x4 minus 7x5. This is a tricky question. Okay. What's the degree of this term? Who knows? Who wants to give it a try? Yeah. Okay, Farhan says 9. What about anybody else have a different answer? Okay, that's the common mistake that people do. Degree. What's the degree of this term? Right, degree of this term is 4. Degree of this term is 5. So the degree of the polynomial is the higher of the terms, the highest of the terms. So in this case, this polynomial has a degree of 5. You do not add different terms. Okay, so let's try this one. How many terms? Bessie? 2 terms. And what's my degree?
2.
2. That's right. Okay. Degree of this term is 2. What's the degree of this term?
1.
Yeah. Okay. There's no variable. So remember, degree only applies to variables. So this has a degree of 0. Okay. Constants have no degree. Degree only applies to variables. So in this case, right here, out of the 2 and the 0, the higher of the 2 is degree 2. Okay. This one, how many terms do you see? For E, how many terms? For him? 1 term. Yeah. It's just one fraction, so 1 term. And the degree? Brian? 3. Yeah, good. Degree 3. Okay. This one is a little tricky. F. Okay, how many terms do you see? How many terms? One term. Yeah, it's only one term because I don't see a plus or minus sign anywhere. So this is all just one term. X times y times z is all one term. Now, what is the degree of this term? Emmy?
1.
Okay, for each of these, it has an exponent 1. So based on our exponent rule, this has a degree of 3. This is a degree 3 of the terms, right? So because this is all just one term, so that's why you would. Okay, normally because they like if you think of it, but wait, miss, they have different base. For the sake of calculating the degree, the base doesn't matter. Right? So as long as you're multiplying, you do add up the exponents for just calculating the degree. All right, this one, how many terms do you see? 2. Yep, 2 terms. Okay, what's the degree of this term? Bessie?
2.
The y has a 1, so it's 3, right? So this term has a degree of 3. What about this term? Jasmine, what do you think? This one. What's the degree of this term?
Which one?
Just the x, y squared z?
4.
4, right. So overall, this polynomial has a degree of 4. That's right. Okay. Remember, if it's separate terms, you never add up the degree of different terms. Okay. So it's not 7, it's the higher, which is 4. Okay. So let's try some algebraic expression. A number x is tripled and then 13 is subtracted from the result. Can you translate that into a mathematical expression for me? Okay. Quinton, a number x is tripled. What does that mean?
So x times 3.
X times 3, or we usually write it as 3x. Okay, and then 19 is subtract from it. Quinton? And then 19 is subtract from it.
Minus 19 from 3x.
Yeah, so minus 19. Good. So 3x minus 19. Alright. Next one, Titus. The variable y is squared, and then it's increased by 10. Can you translate that into a math equation for me? Math expression? Y is squared. So y squared, and then what? Increased by 10 means plus 10. Okay. Ivan, next one. The variable n is decreased by 6, and then it's multiplied by negative 8.
Bracket n minus 6 multiply negative 8.
Awesome. Alright, so n minus 6, and then times negative 8. Okay, you can write it like this, or what we're more used to seeing, or you can write it like this, because we're used to seeing this more. Okay, both are the same. I didn't want to put an equal sign because I don't want you guys to think it's an equation. Okay? These are all just expressions, not equations, because there's no equal sign. Okay, last one. Let's see. Hannah, can you help me with this one? A number p is increased by 70 and then divided by 6. Yep. Divided by 6. So it's going to be, right. Good. Okay, so divided by 6 like this. Or you can put a bracket around the whole thing and then write divide 6. Okay, good. Okay. So there's your first look at translating English words into a math equation. Okay, so let's try this one together. Okay. How many terms are here? For this one, how many terms? For him, 3 terms. What's my coefficient? Coefficient. What's the definition of coefficient again? Quentin, what's the definition of coefficient again?
What?
Yeah, so let's pay attention. Okay. Coefficient is the number in front of the variable. So there's 2 of them, but it's asking at what it is. What is it? 6 and not 6, 7. 6 and 6. -7. That's right. Okay. Can't forget that negative sign. If it's -7, it means the coefficient is -7. Okay. What's the constant? The constant is, 12. And the degree of this polynomial. Ivan? 2. Yeah. Good. And then lastly, remember the first thing I said about variable? Variables are just a letter to represent a number. Okay, so let's try 7f right here, where I give you the expression -4 times 3t minus 10. And now I tell you that t, my variable, is actually -9. Right? So all I have to do is substitute it, replace it with -9. Right? Whenever you substitute, what do you need around that number? Yeah, brackets. Why? Because if I don't, look at what happens here. Okay, I replaced the t with a -9, and what happened to my question? It became minus, right? So this reads 3 times t minus 10, but now looking at this became 3 minus 9 minus 10. So you have to put brackets around what you're substituting. So even if it's in bracket inside another bracket, you still need to. Okay, and then if you think of bad math, you guys know to do brackets first and then multiplication. So 3 times -9, -27, -27 minus 10, -37. And then multiply. And then when you multiply, you get -4 times -37, 148. Alright. Yeah, so that's the lesson for today. I skipped a couple of questions, so starting from number 5, I want you guys to starting from number 5 to number 13. Make sure you guys try these word problems. Okay, it's not hard. It's just substitution. When I went around to do homework check today, I saw a lot of you guys skip the word problems. Alright, so page. So for the rest of the class, I just want you guys to work on the rest of page 1 and 2. That's it. Okay, very little, very short. You still have half an hour, even though we did so much already. We did a practice quiz, we did the lesson. Now you still have half an hour to do 2 pages of work. Okay, so let's work on that. Make good use of class time, and then and anything not done will be homework.